Hey, Paul, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. How are you?
I'm doing great. First of all, congratulations. You have some big news we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, I thought it would be helpful. You and I have known each other for a long time. You've been on the tweener list for, I think, like 5 years. I think it'd be helpful for folks to kind of hear your personal background and how you came to start Feedtrail.
Absolutely. So I'm Paul Jaglowski, the co-founder of Feedtrail. We started this company back in 2017. Before doing so, I was working, well, let me take a step back. Out of undergrad, I moved up to DC to work at a fintech startup on debt capital as it was preparing for IPO. Was there for about a year or so, doing a bunch of different operations roles. I then went to Booz Allen to do management consulting, where I did process improvement, strategy consulting for a couple of years. And it was while I was at Booz Allen that a few friends of mine who became co-founders and I continued to have similar experiences that led to starting this company. And, in my case, the idea of getting a survey days or weeks after interacting with a business of any type was pretty frustrating and clearly led to really low response rates. Whether you're looking at the receipt on a Chick-fil-A where there's 47 digits to enter for a free sandwich if you give feedback, or you're flying on Delta, or in my case, I was traveling a ton for management consulting. And I repeatedly got a survey from a hotel a week after I'd checked out when I was already staying in a different hotel in a different city, or I'd get a survey from a rental car company when I'm sitting in a totally different car the following week. And that simple concept that businesses are waiting so long to learn from and engage with their customers was just mind-boggling to us. So we had the hubris to start trying to build something part-time that helped organizations do just that, engage in real time in more personalized ways with their customers.
Very cool. And then you guys, you didn't focus on the travel industry. It's right there in your name. You focused on healthcare. Why'd you pick healthcare as a vertical?
Well, initially we weren't vertical specific. So we had an airline as a client, we had a bank, we had a hotel, we had a minor league sports team, we had a food truck association all across the board. But it wasn't until we got a client in healthcare, which was Innova up in Northern Virginia, that we realized how big of an opportunity there was in healthcare. Not because the products were lacking per se, but because as healthcare consumers, nearly every interaction you have is very personal. Either you're very excited because everything's going as planned, or you're freaked out because there's an emergency that you're not prepared for or you weren't expecting. And that idea of ensuring the individual receiving care, receiving the service, has a personalized, supported experience really stuck out to us. And after working with Innova for a few months, we started going after other healthcare organizations very intentionally. And we realized pretty quickly that in order for us to scale this company and really make a name for ourselves, especially if it was in healthcare, we needed to narrow our focus to just healthcare and build a product that served them and really met their needs because they are unique.
Yeah, this is a strategy I talk to a lot of founders about. It's called going small to go big. Sometimes you start with this big vision, and it feels weird to like then go to a smaller, kind of like in your example, like one category. But in some ways, going smaller actually expands the vision because you know we don't have to get into it. But I can imagine you started thinking, all right, we'll go small, and then like the healthcare system's so big, then you can kind of go wide again. It's an interest. It's kind of go small to go big is a counterintuitive thing, but it
Yep,
seems
you're
like
right.
that worked out well for you guys.
That's right. And in healthcare too, there's so many sub verticals. So to that point of going small and going big, here in North Carolina or here in Raleigh, where I live, right? There's Wake Med, there, Raleigh Hospital downtown, very large hospital. There's also tons of private practices. There's tons of community health organizations. There's orthopedic offices. So within
Yeah.
healthcare, there's a lot of different ways you can go.
And there's different customer experiences they care about depending on all that jazz. So I could totally see that being a good focus area. How did you, our whole focus is on the triangle here. How did you end up in the triangle?
Well, Co-Founders Capital led our initial seed investment. I was down here for a weekend visiting some friends, and through the grapevine, I heard about Co-Founders Capital, went and stopped by their office, met some of the team there, and then over the next few weeks, I admittedly kind of just came down here and acted like I was here for investor meetings and would work in their co-working space until eventually they took a real meeting and expressed interest in investing. So they led our seed round in end of 2017 with a few other angel investors, and then moved down here full time immediately after. I think I moved into my Raleigh apartment in January of 2018.
Very cool. So co-founders kind of was the reason you relocated. That's I haven't heard that one. Usually it's I went to school here or I had a family member, but you came for the funding.
We yeah, that they were definitely the final kind of reason for us to make the decision. Candidly, my wife and I were been in DC for 6 or 7 years and realized, you know what, we want to move south, but still to a good, rapidly growing city and pretty tech centric. And Raleigh made sense for a number of reasons.
Yeah, put our traffic up against theirs any day of the week.
Yeah.
And then so on Crunchbase it says you guys have raised 2.7 million. Is that right? Somewhere
Approximately,
in that zone.
slightly more, right around three, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. And then and I promise we'll get to the news next question, but on LinkedIn it says you're in that kind of 10 to 50 person category. How big is Feedtrail?
Yeah, the higher end of that range is accurate. But one of the exciting things with this acquisition is that every single employee is going to be continuing to work with our company and become part of Relias, which is around 1,000 employees. So it'll be interesting and exciting to go through that transition and utilize all the additional resources and expertise in house.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So earlier today, you guys announced that you're being acquired by Relias, which is also a local firm. They're out. I had Channel Advisor, and we're in Perimeter Park, and Relias used to be. I can't remember where they are now, but they used to be right there. So know them really well. So congratulations on that. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so you've been at it 7 years. How does it feel to kind of get to this point? And tell us the whole story. Like, how did this come to be? What's the plan going forward? What's it mean for Feedtrail?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, us both being here locally, we cross paths organically, in numerous ways, right? Both health tech companies, both headquartered here, both serve a relatively similar client base, but without being competitive to one another, which is always nice for a partnership. Um, over the years, we've had a number of opportunities to partner on different projects. So we've got to know a number of their leadership team members, their marketing team, different solutions teams within the organization. And it really just came down to us realizing that there was even more alignment in our vision than we realized initially. The fact that our solutions are so complementary made it a very natural fit.
Mhm.
Feedtrail, historically, we've been and will continue to be dedicated to developing solutions that meet healthcare organizations' needs around driving better patient experiences, patient satisfaction, employee satisfaction. And by joining with Relias, they have a variety of solutions. We're going to be extending that impact across so many of the different verticals within healthcare across the entire continuum of care, not just the real-time surveying or post-discharge surveying, but throughout that entire lifetime with that organization. So yeah, the local piece definitely aided in that, and we're excited because there's so much potential for our products to add value to each other's and pretty seamlessly integrate that we're excited to hit the ground running.
Yeah, you don't have to spend all your time on a plane going to some other place. You just
Exactly
drive
right.
over and see everybody. That'd be nice.
And they have
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
office. I'm not sure if you've been to the new space, but it's a wonderful spot to be, and especially for our team that's been primarily remote since the pandemic. Um, it'll be an interesting but exciting transition back into at least part-time in office. But heck, I spent a number of days at that office already, and it's a great place to be, so it'll be easy.
Cool. And as the founder, most of our audience is founders or people to starting companies. How does it feel to get the company over it's never a finish line, but I kind of think of it as a big milestone like this of joining forces with, such a giant organization, and they're going to take your product and, hopefully just like rocket ship accelerate it. How's that feel?
Right. It's pretty surreal. You know this, you've built numerous companies, but we've been heads down building this company full time for the past 6 or 7 years. And our goal has always truly been to build a great company that adds value to our clients, has the trust of our clients, but is also a great place to work. And we can confidently say we've done that. So this acquisition, of course, it's wonderful, but it's really just a cherry on top. The beauty of this partnership is what I've already alluded to, but our whole team sticking around, the product's continuing as is. We're just going to get access to so many more resources, so many more ears, so many more clients who can help us evolve the product and make it even better. Um, that is great. It feels like a match made in heaven, not to sound cheesy, but I can't imagine a better landing spot for us.
Yeah, having sold a couple companies, you kind of do this calculus, like, all right, if we keep going alone, maybe you have to raise a round and you've got some dilution and you're going to get X customers. But if you join forces with someone that already has like this giant basket of customers, it's pretty compelling to kind of say, well, if we really put the solution and the team first, and yeah, a lot of times it makes a ton of sense to go ahead and join forces with a larger entity. So sounds
You
like
know,
you went through similar kind of thinking.
you're right. And we've had numerous conversations with clients completely separate from this relationship with Relias, where they've asked us if we had a roadmap that aligned with the idea of, hey, you help us collect real-time insights, you help us identify where we have opportunities for improvement. Do you have training that can support those opportunities for improvement? Do you have anything that can help our workforce get better in these areas where they might not be delivering on the quality of care that the patient expects? And Relias literally has solutions that do just that. So this is
Yeah, so it'll kind of close the loop. So you get this feedback that you need to improve X, Y, and Z. You can just plug in Relias, like then come back and see how you did. So it's going to be a really nice. Seems like a kind of a really nice filling out of the solution set for both of you guys.
absolutely agree.
Cool. Anything else you want to say to folks, that are in the Triangle community, and maybe there's founders out there and they're grinding away. Anything you want to share advice wise from a founder to founder kind of a thing?
Any sage advice prepared. I will more so, getting this deal done has made me appreciate the trust and confidence our early investors had in us. A team of first-time founders, they undeniably took a risk on us, but we're really proud that we were able to provide a solid outcome for everybody, and it meant a lot that they trusted us early on. So whether it's co-founders or FCA or SaaS Ventures or the angels involved, really excited for the journey we've had and excited to see how we continue from here.
Yeah, I'm an LP and co-founders, and I can tell they're pretty excited for you guys, and yeah, so I thank you as well for that aspect also. So appreciate the nice return that you guys have delivered there.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for the time, Scott. Good catching up.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, and congratulations again. And let's stay in touch and let folks know. Maybe we'll do like a little post acquisition kind of a check in with you, see how it's going.
Great.
Thanks again.
All right. See you, Scott.